All right, good morning, or whatever time of day it is if you are watching the recording. I wanted to start by saying just a quick word about why mindfulness is important. We are often run by a lot of unconscious urges and impulses and defense mechanisms, and there's all kinds of stuff that goes on below the surface. And if we don't actually slow down and notice them, we miss a whole bunch of information that's super important so that we have more choice. Um, so I find that the more we can slow down, the more information we have, and the more we can start to learn, like, not only what our driving forces are, but how do patterns actually manifest within ourselves. And all of that becomes easier when we've trained ourselves to listen. So I try and start with simple. So I thought that's what I'd do this week, because we have to actually just learn to start to tune in before we can start to get more info. So as the week goes, I'll add other little bits that are helpful, like what to do when you get distracted, which we probably all do. Your brain goes to something that has meaning. There's something that's going on there. So we will include that as part of the practice. But for today, I wanted to start with something simple. It becomes like something that is mindful, but is easier to track. And that's what's going on in our body, because every feeling we have is attached to a body sensation, like a manifestation of how that feeling, that emotion, that thought, all of those things manifest as something in our body. And so by learning to scan and tune into what's going on, we start to listen. And we start to retrain ourselves to just listen to what's happening, notice what's happening, be present to it, instead of doing what we normally do. Because most of us learned to some degree to tune out the signals that our body gives us, because there was nothing we could do about it. Often when there's bigger, adults that we're in an unequal relationship with, meaning, um, they're the ones in charge. If we say, and we didn't have we hadn't yet wired up for thinking about the inequity in the situation and how to deal with the unfairness. So what we did was we just changed ourselves. And if the rule was don't cry, don't feel, don't get angry, then we learn to suppress that. And when it becomes too hard to not feel, because that's hard, like basically someone saying, don't be yourself. And so we learn to not be ourselves, to not allow that stuff to bubble up. And then we kind of just tuned it out. So, what became a very important piece of information, we just learned to ignore. What this is about is, can I start learning to listen to that again, so that I can start changing how I relate to it instead of ignoring it, pushing it aside, which seems logical. I don't want to feel that, so don't feel it. So just push it aside. Instead of doing that, learning to feel it in a way that's first easier, like somatically in your body, and getting your brain on board with that process so that your thinking mind has a job instead of running rampant like it usually does, and letting it be part of this journey of mindfulness. So here's what we're going to do. This is a body scan. Some of you may have done this with me before. Um, we're simply going to, I'll explain it first and then we'll do it. So you're going to simply start with following your breath and letting yourself just arrive in the moment. And then we will, as we sort of start to just arrive in our body, you're actually going to use the breath to visit places in your body. And we'll kind of trace the different parts of our body and just sit with each part and notice how it feels. Is there anything you can notice that you might not have noticed before you actually brought your attention to it? And the idea is, can I just be curious about what's going on there? Can I not attach it to anything like the gardening I did yesterday or oh yeah, that's where I hold my stress and I just had a fight with my partner yesterday. Can we just notice it and just be present with it? And then be thankful that our body's actually speaking to us, because part of, I think, where we're going as a collective humanity is we're learning to be more intuitive again. I think we were there once before, but we're learning to go back. So if you can just have a seat in your chair or your couch, you can lie down, whatever's comfortable, and just let yourself take a couple deep breaths. Breathe in and out. And as you breathe in, notice what it's like to have breath flow past your throat. You can do this with your eyes closed if it's easier to focus on your internal world that way. And when you're in that throat area, notice what your throat feels like. Is there any kind of constriction there, or a tightness, or a lump, or a knot? Just let yourself send breath to that area as you notice it. Notice if it's more at the front or the back, or the right or the left. And notice how much of that space it occupies. Like, is it really small and in the middle? Or is it everywhere? And on a scale of 1 to 10, notice how intense it is. And then thank that area for speaking to you. And on your next breath, follow that breath down into your chest area. And notice what's going on there. See if you can feel your heart beating. And if you can, what are they like? Are those beats fast, slow, relaxed, anxious? Just breathing right into that chest area and noticing, is there any tightness there? Or a heaviness? Or a flutteriness? Just notice what qualities are there. Just as you breathe into your chest. Is it more at the front or the back? Or one side more than the other? Simply breathe. And notice how intense that sensation is. Notice what it's like to slow down and just be present. And then moving down to your solar plex area. Just breathing and noticing. What sensations do you notice there? If you come to an area where there's no sensations that you can pick up, just notice what it's like to just have it feel neutral. It's like being a curious visitor to a new place. And now dropping down to your stomach. And breathing. Noticing what it's like there. Any sensations like maybe a knot or a flutter. How big is it? Is it more at the front or the back? Or the right or the left? No judgment. This is just about getting to know you. And then notice how intense that feeling is. And finally, just doing one last check over the rest of your body. You can scan down each leg. Just stopping to notice anything that shows up. Even if it's a little thing, like I've got a little tingle going on my right foot, just a little one that I wasn't aware of till I paid attention. When you find something, thank your body for speaking to you and say, I notice, I'm noticing, I'm here, I'm paying attention. Often we feel like people abandon us, but the reality is we often abandon ourselves first. And paying attention to ourselves is often the first place we do it. This changes that wiring. Now, as we finish up, I want you to thank your body for speaking to you. And if it feels right, you can even offer an apology. Quick little, I'm sorry I don't normally listen. I learned to tune you out for good reason. at some point along the way, but I'm learning to tune in again. And I'm here. Take a great big deep breath in. And as you do that, fill yourself with whatever feels like is being called for. Gratitude, love, whatever it is that you feel like you need in this moment. And if it feels right, you put your hand on your heart. And one more last, I'm here and I'm listening. All right. So finish up your practice in whatever way feels right to you. And thank you so much for joining me on this practice today. Namaste.